probably the only time I will ever film this outside, but I'm just so scared of losing these nice warm days. Like the fact that it's October and it's so warm and in the 70s still is such a dream come true. And speaking of October, here's my October TBR. I've got 12 books this month and I'm so excited for all of them. I'm also in the mood to read right now. It's such a beautiful Saturday. I'm nervous to film this outside, but I really want to talk about my October TBR. So I have 12 books this month, super exciting ones too, of a bunch of fun, like cozy, spooky October fall romance, thriller, graphic novels even. Definitely make sure that you are subscribed, and if you're into it, I do have a Bookstagram, Book Talk, Goodreads account. All of these are organized over on my Amazon storefront. First book that I'm literally starting today is Elsie Silver's second book in the Rose Hill series, Wild Eyes. I am so excited for this book. I cannot wait. This came out in September. I bought it right away on release day, but now is the time. I love that it's orange too. It's literally perfect for October. I also really want to read The Other Side this month by AJ Wynn, because AJ Wynn sent over this copy last month for me. It just came out in October. I've probably showed this in so many videos, but she signed it and sent over a ton of goodies, including a matching bookmark. But I'm just so proud of her. This is her second book that she's published this year, and I'm so excited for this plot. It sounds super fun to read in October. It's like a dark academia prep school between two teachers and a decades-old mystery. So it's like a mystery romance academia setting. So I do really want to show my support and read this like as soon as possible so I can let her know my thoughts on her new book, but I'm so excited to read this one this month. And then I also recently bought Emily Wilde's The Encyclopedia of Fairies. I am so excited for this book. I've heard so many fun things and it just sounds like the best time of year to read this book. It says it's one of New York Times notable bestsellers of the year. I honestly don't know anything about this book, but I kind of want to go into it blindly because it's a fantasy series. Fantasy intimidates me, but I know a lot of people really love this book. This next book HarperCollins sent over this summer, but it just feels like such a fall read to me that I have been holding on to it until now. Now is the time. It's Our Hideous Progeny. The cover is absolutely stunning, but it's kind of a play on Frankenstein, which is why I wanted to save it for October. It's about the great niece of Victor Frankenstein, and her name is Mary, which is such a nice homage to Mary Shelley, but I'm here for it. I loved Frankenstein. I think this will be a really fun twist on it. It says it's a queer feminist masterpiece inspired by the classic, so I can't wait to eat this up. I want to read it like right now. That's the thing, when I film these TBR videos, it makes me just want to tandem read all of the books immediately because I get so excited for them. Are you helping, Marnie? Okay, I've got some fluffier romance and YA and like cozy October reads next. I kind of just bunched them all together. We have the Xhex by Erin Sterling, which honestly, I don't know how fluffy all of these are, but based on the covers, I just assume that they're going to be slightly easier reads. I'm pretty sure this girl accidentally casts a hex on her ex. I also have My Roommate as a Vampire. I bought this last fall and then never really wanted to read it because I think it's just like a YA spooky romance, but I'm sure it's gonna be fun and just like in the theme of spooky season, so I guess we'll see. Like if I'm in the mood for these, I can definitely read them quickly, and I hope I am. I honestly haven't even been in that like cozy fall mood yet because the weather has been so nice. It's been so warm out. I've just been pretending that it's summer, but I'm sure soon I'll decorate for fall and all that. It's like October 5th and I'm just like not in the mood. The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I have heard so many things about this book. Everybody's always talking about it this time of year, and they always compare it to Gilmore Girls and Practical Magic, and just, ugh. Marnie just tried to eat a bug. And now she's super slobbery. I think there's also recipes in here, if I'm not mistaken. Is this the one that has recipes? Yeah, there's also like cozy recipes in here. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a really fun cozy fall read, so I'm excited for the vibes to take me there. I also have a book that I have been putting off for over a year. It is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I've just heard mixed things. I've heard it's really good, but the fact that it's like a YA mystery, YA always makes me slightly hesitant because I read One of Us is Lying and absolutely hated it, and that one is a TV show, so I thought it must be good, and everyone was talking about it. This one is also a TV show and everyone's talking about it, so it must be good, but now I'm hesitant. I think it will be good. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with this plot, but we basically follow a high school senior who's doing a project on a cold case from their high school, and stuff starts happening. So the plot alone sounds good, and it's just like a fun mystery. Like, I think these are going to be light and fluffy and YA, but I'm excited to read these. Okay, I've got some darker stuff now. First, I have Riley Sager's The Only One Left. I have been itching to read all of his books. I've only read 2, but I've loved both of them. The back of this says it's a gothic house of horrors, so like, it just looks like an October read. I'm so excited for that. And then I also recently purchased Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I recently started reading Frida McFadden books, and I get it. She kind of feels like, and don't take this the wrong way, but she feels like the Colleen Hoover version of thrillers, in the sense that like easy palate cleansers, will get back into reading if in a reading slump, like can finish in a day. Not that serious, but serious, and there's always a twist. I don't know, it's good. Like, she also just pushes out these books, I feel like, as much as Colleen Hoover did. But the overall favorite book by Frida McFadden that I hear people talk about is Never Lie. The plot of this one also sounds super interesting to me, because it's basically about a young couple that moves into a manor that used to be owned by like a psychiatrist who went missing, and then they discover like tapes in the house that she left. They start listening to them, and I'm sure they start to solve the mystery. But like, so excited. I could binge this in one day. I might start with this one too. It's so hard because like, I only have so much reading time today, and I do want to get into Wild Eyes, but now I want to read this book too. But yeah, eventually I want to read all of her books, and I know that The Boyfriend just recently came out, so I might save that for book club. I started a new book club with my best friends. We have been going through books so quickly. I might as well add my book club book that we're currently reading, although we read our last book club book in like 4 days, so we're not doing one per month. We're kind of just being like, what should we read together next? But we just read Too Late together by Colleen Hoover. That was like a psychological whiplash. Like, what the heck did I just read? We just picked Tana French, The Woods, I think is what it's called, or Into the Woods. It's from 2008. I think it's Tana French's debut novel, and I've never read a Tana French book before, so I'm excited. And that's the fun thing about book clubs, is they really do like get you out of your reading comfort zones, so should be good. I think after that one I might suggest The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, because that would be a good fall thriller to read. And then the last darker book, well, I have 2 more books, but the last darker book that I have, I just found at Goodwill, and it is such a cool find. I'm a little bit nervous to read this, but it's My Friend Dahmer by Durf Backdurf. What a name. That's gotta be a pen name, right? Durf Backdurf. It's a graphic novel. It won the Revelation Award, and it's a national bestseller, and it's a movie. But it's a really, really cool perspective on Jeffrey Dahmer, because it's told from the perspective of an old classmate who grew up with him. This was such a special Goodwill find, and I'm so excited to read this month. It'll be interesting. Wow. The author's wife is a Pulitzer Prize winning reporter and columnist. His mother still lives in the house he grew up in, 5 miles from Dahmer's house. Yeah. I also haven't read a graphic novel since I was a teenager, probably in like 7th grade English class. Again, I want to read this one today. I also have so much to do today. And the last book on my October TBR, which may or may not happen this month, but I do really want to get to it. It's been on my mind so much. I felt so gravitationally pulled toward this book that I know I have to read it soon. It's The Invisible Life of Addie Laroo by B.E. Schwab. I have only heard amazing things about this book. I don't even want to know much about what this book is about. I just want to go into it blindly. I think it's beautiful. I already know it's going to be good. The one thing that makes me a little bit hesitant is I think it's technically categorized as fantasy, or like dark fantasy, and again, fantasy kind of intimidates me because sometimes it can be really hard to follow. That is just one that I feel so drawn toward that I know I have to read. Those are the 12 books on my radar for the month of October. It is so hard trying to decide which one to start with, and I really hope that I get to the majority of these. I mean, I read 10 books in September, so chances are actually higher than it seems for me to read most of these. Definitely let me know if you've read any of these and which ones you would recommend I prioritize and make sure to read, or which ones that you've loved the most. I'm also so curious to know what you currently have on your TBR list for the month. All of these books are categorized on my Amazon storefront. I know Amazon has some really good deals on books, so definitely worth checking out. And then if you like book content, please follow my Bookstagram page as well as my book talk. And then if you're into it, I also have a Goodreads. I don't know if you can hear that train, but there's a train going by. It's just such a nice day.